So I have to stay behind the speakers, so the feedback is coming back from the speakers, what I understand. So, welcome. Thank you for being here tonight. I'm Jason Burdine. I'm our board president. And first off, let's give a big round of applause for the Briargate Elementary Choir. Thank you all very much. That was wonderful. I enjoyed that. I'd also like to thank the McAuliffe Middle School cheerleaders and the dance team who welcomed us when we walked in the door tonight. I love the spirit of Briargate. Every time I come, there's someone greeting me at the door. So whether it's the gents or the McAuliffe Middle School cheerleaders and dance team this evening, it was also great to see the awesome artwork on display from our students at Briargate and Willow Ridge High School. So next, I would like to introduce my fellow board members, my team, and my family that are here this evening. Starting here on the end is Mr. Jim Rice. Sitting next to Mr. Rice is Mrs. Grail James. And next is our current board secretary, Dave Rosenthal. We will have a few more board members joining us here in just a second. But thank you all for being here once again. Our focus this evening is to promote literacy and a love for reading. My fellow board members and I are going to read a book that was written by one of our very own teachers, Mrs. Stephanie Glaze. Thank you, Mrs. Glaze. This book is about a little boy who attends school under the sea. It shows us how important public schools are in our community. Public schools are funded by local taxpayers and state and federal governments and ensure all children have an equal opportunity to attend school. After we finish reading, feel free to visit some of the interactive stations around the room here from the teaching and learning department. Set up and don't forget to pick up your free book. So all the students that are here this evening, the book that we're going to be reading, you can take a copy home and it's going to be right there in the back. So make sure you get your copy. My kids have been enjoying it the past week, so let's get started. I'm going to come to the front here, and our board members, we're going to stand or sit and we'll read the book. So. We're going to get right down there. Just wanted to make sure.
Buenas noches, este es un breve mensaje para hacerles saber a las personas que no hablan inglés que habrá interpretación al español. Si alguien la necesita, por favor nos avisa, mi compañera y yo vamos a estar allí al lado, mi compañera está levantando la mano para ayudarlos si lo necesitan. That was a brief message to let people know that there will be Spanish interpretation for those who need it. Thank you.
How are we going to work this out? I need some help because we can't use the microphone in front of the speakers. So are we just going to have to pipe up and read loud? Okay. Okay. Let me see. Can we hear? Yeah, let's move to the stage. It's fine right here. There we go. Can I sit next to you, Mrs. James? So.
You're reading, I'll show the pictures.
Sure. Who likes pictures and books? I do. All right. I'm going to read and Mrs. James is going to show you the picture and we're going to pass the book along down the way here, okay? There once was a boy who lived in the sea. His classmates were not like you or like me. Audie the sea otter and Beluga the beluga whale were friends of this boy in this wondrous tale. Fishermen looked down from the tip of their stern to listen and watch little Jeffrey learn. He learned how to read from the great orca's cry. The tentacles of the octopus helped Jeffrey learn to multiply. Recess at sea, could you imagine such a wish of playing hide and seek in coral reef and jellyfish?
There came a dark day when a strong storm arose. Jeffrey was tossed from the sea from the tip of Audie's nose. Jeffrey flew through the air. Where would he land? Thank goodness he had fallen safely in the sand. Jeffrey walked to his family's beach house and knocked on the door. He explained to his parents how he'd landed ashore. They escorted him in and patted his head. His father said, "You've had a long day, son, so please go to bed."
Time has flown by and Jeffrey is grown. He now has a daughter and son of his own. He works at a job sending emails and faxes, and each year in January, he pays county and school taxes. He remembers the sea school he attended. How cool. Now he pays taxes to support public schools. Public schools give opportunities, both far and wide, to all students living on the east, west, south, or north side. The next time you pass a school, be it Briargate or Walker Station, remember the boy who learned from the fish in the sea and support public education.
That's the end.
Did you all like that book? Yeah. Isn't it cool? Once again, I wanted to thank Mrs. Stephanie Glaze for making this book. And Mr. Christopher Vela is also our own, correct? And he's the one that illustrated it. Is he here tonight? Mr. Vela? Anyway, great job. It's a really good job. Do you have any questions? Yes, sir.
That's a good question. So this young man asked, how did he go to school under the sea? How could he breathe? Well, I don't know. I think you should use your imagination to figure that out. What do you think? But that's a really good question, because you know what? I thought that same thing. Yes?
How did he breathe? And where was the school underwater? There were just classmates.
Well, classmates are part of the school, right? So remember they said he learned how to count from the octopus? Because you know how the octopus has tentacles, so you can kind of learn how to do math with that, right? But you're right, that's what he was saying, how did he breathe? And you're going to have to use your imagination for that one. So, yes? Yeah, well, you know what? I think that's the part Miss James read. I think there was a storm, right? And the storm tossed him out of the sea, and he landed on the beach.
Looks like a beluga whale, actually.
Ah, the whale tossed him out. See? And it just so happened he landed right in front of his house. Isn't that cool? Cool. That's a good question too. So he asked, well, how did he find out who his parents were, and did he then go to school after he came back to the land? And I would say, I think he probably knew who his parents were. So again, they leave this to your imagination. How did he get into the sea in the first place and end up going to school in the sea? And then it sounds to me, because he was educated, right? And he had a job and everything, and he paid his taxes, so he must have gone to school after he got back to his parents' house. Right? Does that make sense? Okay. Well, that's what we were at. That's the question that everybody seems to have. How can he breathe underwater? And then how can he breathe on land? So he's just special. He's a fictional character. So you are fully allowed to use your imagination to answer that question. Right? Yes. Well, I bet he went to, because we're talking about a public school, so I think he went to a school somewhere on the land. I don't think they slept there. I think it was just like we all do. We all went to school and then we went home. And so they showed you his house and his parents, right? The house was the school. No, I think he probably went to school. He went here. Okay. See? There we go. And Ms. Blaisdorn, she wrote the book, so she would know, right? Yes, sir. Did he talk to them? Like, you mean after he came back on the land? Like while he was there? Yeah, I think he did. Sounded like he did. Well, sometimes you can communicate differently, right? They may not understand the same language, but you can still communicate. You know what they're thinking and they know what you're thinking. They just can't speak in the same language, right?
How many of you like to read? You like to read? Like to read? And tell me why you like to read. Tell me why you like to read.
I like to read because it makes me more smart.
It makes you what?
It helps me better in school.
Okay. How about you?
I like reading because it makes my imagination stronger and also my reading stronger.
That's right. Why do you like to read? Extend your vocabulary. I can tell. Yeah. Why do you like to read?
Get your grades higher.
That's right. Why do you like to read? Calms you down? Why do you like to read? Find words, new words. Why do you like to read? Yeah. How about you? Why do you like to read? Imagination. And why do you like to read? Entertaining. And you, ma'am? That's right. So when you read, why do you like to read, young man? Loads of information. So when you read, think about all the things that you said. It inspires your imagination. When you're reading a book, even though you're sitting at home in a chair, Reading the book can take you to faraway places. Reading a book can inspire your imagination to think about a young boy who lived underwater and learned how to breathe underwater and then lived on the land. And reading a book can expand your vocabulary. And reading a book you can learn loads of information. And reading books makes you aware of so many things in the world. You can read the newspaper, you can read magazines, and all kinds of things. And when you read those things, you become informed about issues. And you can use that information to make up your own mind. So reading is really a good thing, and I'm so happy that all of you like to read and are reading at school and at home, and the more you read, the smarter you get.
I want to introduce our board vice president, Mrs. Addie Helliger.
Well, I am so sorry I am late. I got stuck in traffic, but I know you all had a good time this afternoon reading the book. Could someone just fill me in what the book was about? Yes.
The book was about a little boy that actually went to school in the sea. The school was Bragate Elementary, which is his school. And one of the beluga whale, the whale, he was sitting on a whale's nose, and the whale had thrown him up, he landed on shore and went had such a surprise. His parents were surprised.
That was really good. What happened next?
And then when he went home, he went to school at, on land. And after that, he had his own family that went to school too. And I inferred they went to school underwater sometimes.
So they went to school underwater, then he went to school on land, and then what happened? Young lady in the beach, can you stand? That's right, the wind blew him out of the ocean, he landed on the sand. Yes, stand up at the end, right there. Tell us what happened. Manuel, just sit down just a second. We'll give you a turn next. The young lady on the end is going to tell us what happened next.
He grew up by hunting for all the
That's right, he grew up and he did something else first. Manuel, do you know where did Manuel go? He left, okay, never mind.
He made a family with a daughter and a son.
That's right, he had a family with a daughter and a son. And what else happened? He did pay taxes. He did pay taxes, means he had a job, right? He'd been to school and he grew up and he had a job and a house and he paid his taxes.
He paid the taxes for his school.
He paid the taxes for the school, that was right.
Wow. I know I missed it, but it sounds like everybody was paying attention and they were able to retell the story without even having the book. Job well done, everybody. Give yourselves a hand. Okay, all right.
All right, well, we have a surprise in the back. It looks like Clifford the red dog showed up. So make sure you all have the opportunity, stay seated for a little bit longer. Make sure you all have the opportunity to take a picture and say hello to Clifford the red dog. And wait a second. Kids, students right here. Before you leave in the back, remember to get your book, School in the Sea, okay? Make sure you get your book before you leave. But thank you all for being here. We all enjoyed reading to you. And you also get snacks. So it looks like HEB and Starbucks is a sponsor, so make sure you get your snacks in the back. Make sure you stop at all these tables. And thank you for being here. Give yourself a round of applause.